Happy birthday, Virgo! I'm LeonaNBlack, and I'm here to do your intuitive tarot reading for the month of September. I feel super blessed to be able to be here doing this for and with you. I've wanted to start monthly videos by sign for a while, but I've been waiting for that prompt, that opening, that it's the right time for me, and just using the delay to really check my intentions and make sure that I'm coming to this work and I'm coming to this kind of service with the right mindset and with the right intention to really bless you guys and be of service and bring clarity and guidance and compassion. So we'll be doing an intuitive read. I'll be pulling the cards and exploring some of the energies that are going to be surrounding us in September, some of the scenarios we'll be facing with the Virgo archetype. But before we do that, I just want to run through some of the astrology. I feel like we are in such a special moment right now. Virgos, it's been tough. It's been tough, and I'm a Virgo sun, I'm a Virgo moon, I've got my Mars in Virgo as well, so I really identify with this Virgo energy, and I feel like we have been jumping through hoops. Like, I really feel that way. I feel like we've been pushed to our limits in the last 2 years or so, and we've been asked to really address the parts of us that are too in tune to negativity. I'll just be straight. Like, we have a tendency towards a little pessimism, towards self-criticism, towards being too rooted, kind of too grounded in the now and the environment and what we see, that we're not really able to kind of create the reality and the visions and the life that we want for ourselves. And I feel like we've been pushed to kind of deal with our own mental limitations. And, you know, I posted on my Instagram page this morning that I feel for Virgos, we've been just wondering, like, when is it our turn? You know, are we always going to be playing the role of the supporter, of the healer, of the listener, of the friend? You know, when do we get to cultivate a joy of our own and bring that into the world? And guys, it's your time, man. I'm really feeling that for Virgo. This is such a special opportunity, and it's up to us to grab it in this moment. So we've had Mercury in retrograde in our sign. It's been tough. It has been really tough. I wrote an article before saying that I kind of like the opportunity that, you know, Mercury retrogrades present, and I don't find them that difficult. I think as a Virgo, we're quite attuned to that mercurial energy, and I think we may, for that reason, navigate some of these retrogrades a little more easily than other signs. But Virgo, Mercury retrograde in our sign has been rough. It's been super, 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 super tough. And I have especially been feeling really sluggish, really not having the energy to push forward in the projects that I want to do. Really being really unclear in my communication, for example, forgetful, just I'm feeling that pause, that slow down, and that need to go inwards. I've been silent. I've not really been on the phone. I'm not taking phone calls right now. I am just really checking in with myself, and I think that's what's been the requirement. But all of that is a setup. Like, it's the platform from which we leap. And so Mercury goes direct in a few days. It goes direct on September 5th. And we also have Mars going into Virgo on September 5th. Now, my Mars is in Virgo. And if I were to choose a keyword for this energy, I would say endurance. Like, Mars in Virgo is like the marathon runner. That's the metaphor I'm looking for. It's the marathon runner. It's someone who's like, I'm going to go the full distance with this thing. And I was thinking about my Mars in Virgo and the fact that I have been in like higher education for a really long time, for example, and finishing up my PhD now, and just how important that energy has been in terms of my perseverance and my persistence. So if there are projects that you want to start, changes you want to make in your relationship or in your family dynamics or in your home that are going to take a period of time, this is a good energy that's going to support that. It's a good time to begin. And I feel like having Mars meeting Mercury on this day is just giving us that extra push, having been coming out of this very slowed down energy. So slightly after that, we've got Venus entering Virgo on the 19th, and then we have a new moon on the 20th. And the 20th is my birthday, and I'm turning 30. So I am super, super, super happy about this. I feel like it's such a blessing for me to kind of usher in a new year and just really be in that energy of new beginnings. For us as a collective, the new moon in Virgo is going to be opposing Chiron, and Chiron is the planet that represents your soul wound. I mean, the thing that you know, that just that hurts you deeply, and that you've been carrying and carrying and carrying, and gets, you know, triggered and rubbed up on throughout your life. This is what this planet represents. And in Virgo, I feel like this new moon is really highlighting our healing energy, you know, that Virgo attention to service and to bodily health, to mental health, to spiritual health. And so having the moon on this end and Chiron on this end, it's like we're going to be moving between these two energies of insecurity and hope. So be compassionate with yourself and beat yourself up if you feel that kind of that pain rising. It's for a purpose. And so when you're setting your intentions, when you're thinking about, you know, the months coming and what you really want to put in place and do for yourself, you need to be using this new moon energy to address your pain. You need to use a new moon as a response to the things that hurt you, and not from a fear-based perspective, but in terms of bringing your attention to it, your love to it, in terms of making decisions in your life that begin to bring healing into that space for you. So I'm going to get into the reading now, and we can look more closely at what's at play for us. Much love. Okay, love. So I spent some time really praying, meditating, and thinking about what specifically I was bringing into this space, you know, how I was going to use my gift to support you. There are so many amazing tarot readers on YouTube, so I wanted to make sure that if I was kind of entering this arena, it would be adding value, not just another voice. And so I kind of thought about this spread and I prayed on it. And so we're going to be looking at our core kind of wants, desires, what our energy and our thrust is towards, and what kind of obstacles and resistance we're facing along that path, or what lessons we need to learn in order to kind of see that come into fruition. I'm going to be looking at your overall energy and just the kind of pattern and waves of growth that Virgos are going through right now. And I'll also just be pulling cards that focus very specifically on advice for all of us about, you know, the next month and what we can be doing. Ashe. I bless this reading that comes to it from the perspective of love. We release all fear-based energies from this reading. Ashe. Okay, so I'm pulling a card that represents our core wants, our core desires, and challenges that we have to that. I want us to think about where we're at in the kind of universal patterns. One of the most beautiful things about tarot is that it's an archetype that kind of just represents the things that we all go through in this kind of human embodiment. And so I want to tune into where we're at as Virgos, what we need to be learning as the month proceeds. Okay, guys. 3 cards that kind of look at where we're at in terms of our growth. And then I'm going to pull 4 cards below. That's just general advice for us about the month to go. A month to come rather than to go. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this space with me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm going to have a look at these cards. I'm going to tune into the messages. So we've got Page of Pentacles in reverse. Let's move this so you can see it a bit clearly. 10 of Wands. Interesting. King of Swords in reverse. In terms of our core desire. Karma. Yeah. 10 of Cups, guys. Okay. Feel you, Virgos. In terms of our overall messages, we've got the Star, 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and 5 of Wands. Okay, guys, I'm going to sit with these cards for a while and just reflect on the messages, and then I'll be back. Okay, Virgo, I think you're thinking about love. We've got as kind of your core wants, desires, what you're thrusting towards at the moment is the Karma card. I think this is Judgment in other decks, and I feel like we're in a position, we're in a space where we really want to move on. Virgo wants to close a chapter. We want to kind of move into a different energy. We want to see a different stage where it relates to our money, where it relates to our family life, our career, our love life. Like, we're just done with the old. We're trying to usher in something new. And I think, given that this is our time, it makes sense that you guys are thinking about what this next year looks like for you, what the next months look like for you, and how you can close the door on certain things. And the card that came up for what is blocking you or creating kind of resistance or an obstacle was the Ten of Cups card. I'm trying to get there you go. I was trying to get out of the light. I think we're thinking about love. I think we're thinking about fulfillment. Virgo, I feel like this impulse to move forward and to move on relates to someone you're in love with. I think that you are trying to kind of close the door emotionally on a situation in which you've been very invested in, that you put a lot of energy into, that has kind of, you place a lot of value in, that you thought was kind of going to be it for you. And thus far it hasn't been. I think you're trying to, use your energy to thrust forward into something else. This doesn't even have to be a relationship, or it doesn't have to, I think for a lot of us it does relate to a relationship, but it can also relate to just something that you've poured your love and affection into. And you guys are such a hardworking sign, so it can be in terms of your career where you're just giving so much but not seeing the forward momentum that you want. It can be in terms of your family dynamics and just being so much of service, making yourself so available, and not feeling that kind of love and commitment back from the people around you, not really feeling like you're being seen. And therefore, kind of in this season, thinking about, how do I close the door on this kind of dynamic and start a new cycle? How do I begin again and start afresh? But I feel like you are trying to leave this situation prematurely, Virgo. Like, in the cards that have come up for you, there is really nothing that's saying that you're ready to get up and go, or that you've done everything you need to do in the situation, or that the value is over. I'm not seeing that. So in terms of the overall kind of cycle that you're in at the moment, you've got Page of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like, as I was saying before, we have been in such a stage of investing in ourselves. I feel this is a very inward energy of trying to find the value. You see the way she holds this coin up, this thing that she values, but also like a reflection, even like a mirror of her own self. I feel like we have been looking in deeply. We have started out, the page is a very it's a transformative energy, but it's a new energy. It comes after a new beginning. And I feel like we are investing so much more in self-love. I feel like Virgos are really doing the growth shit, basically. And this has also got us feeling this energy, this kind of 10 of Wands, this kind of weariness from this spiritual journey, weariness for all that we've had to do and give up and heal and listen to and change and move. I feel like we're tired, and I feel like that's what's got us pursuing this kind of ending. Like, 10 is a completion card, and I feel like we are eager to already be in this castle, right? We're like, I've been doing this work, I feel like I'm done now. I feel like I should be in the next stage, in the next season, in the next phase. And I feel, Virgos, you've got the King of Swords in reverse. This really is a strong Aquarius card for me. So I feel like in some senses it is talking about us moving out of that highly rational, highly intellectual, kind of emotionally aloof way of being that we can sometimes embody, right? And that can actually really prevent us from delving into this. Virgo doesn't always want to get into the messiness of emotions. We can be very kind of pragmatic and practical. And I have Virgo moon, so my approach to emotions is always like, I can fix this, or there's something that can be done. And I feel like with the King of Swords in reverse, it's like really encouraging us in our spiritual growth and our development to move out of this kind of mental energy, move out of this outward masculine directive space towards really the emotional space and healing ourselves. And this comes up in our advice section, and I'm going to come to this in more detail. I think some of you Virgos are actually dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra that can be resented. Maybe that's a Freudian slip of mine. That can be presented here. And maybe in reverse, this person is actually causing an obstruction to the ending. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wanting to finish this up, this can actually, not just in terms of an energy that embodies yourself, but someone in your life that is being really, intellectual about things and not leading from the heart or the emotion, and has got you kind of carrying this burden for yourself, and has also probably got you in a space of, I'm trying to kind of leave this behind. So maybe some of you are really in love with an air sign, but the cards is saying that things are not done there, they're not complete, there is more to come on your part, as is reflected by what I was saying on the new moon on the 20th. Healing. This is also actually for me really resonates as the Aquarius cards. Aquarius are coming through pretty strong in this reading, but it can be, as I said, that the King of Swords can relate to any air sign. But this for me, this is really not just the card of healing, of kind of alchemy, of bringing, the land and the water together, of bringing both earth and, the sea elements into one to create kind of harmony and healing. But also it's the card of wishes. That's why you see this star so prominent in it. And I feel like in order for you guys to get what you want, and what you want seems to be 10 of cups, it seems to be complete, emotional fulfillment. That's the season that you guys want, whatever that represents for you. You are now at a point where you're just like, I want what feels right. In order to get there, guys, we've really got to do some of the healing, the Chiron stuff, that wound that is still persisting with us. And I know we've healed a lot, I know we've been doing a lot, but it's not done. Okay, so you need to be spending this month of September just really allowing the healing flow of water. And in order to allow that, it's about being more connected with your emotions rather than your mind. Let yourself feel what you need to feel it, and let those emotions communicate to you. I feel for Virgos, it's funny because this kind of came up for a Virgo, well, someone with strong Virgo energy that I read for. We've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and I thought this card, just checking I'm still recording. Yes. I thought with this card, there is a decision that we need to make moving forward. This decision is going to come up for us in September, but it is a decision that must be led by not just our mind, right? We're not just juggling like real world, practical, pentacle stuff, material issues, and kind of things we want to build and create. But what's going on, like this turbulence in the sea, what's going on in our heart, like we cannot make that decision. I feel like we're in a space where that decision isn't outward yet, that we need to be really doing this work on the inside, kind of really reflecting about the choices that we're making, and really allowing ourselves to ruminate on that without kind of coming out yet. Remembering that as I'm doing this reading, Mercury is still in retrograde. So I know for me, for example, there's been a lot of thinking and contemplating that I've not been articulating because we're not seeing everything clearly yet. So it's important, guys, that you go into the stillness. That's part of this healing process. You allow yourselves to be led by your emotions. I'm like, that's not a comfortable space for you, but it is time to go with what you feel, to tap into your intuition and to get a sense of what the Nine of Cups is for you. The Nine of Cups comes up in reverse for us in our advice space, and I feel like it's that, Virgos, I feel like with the changes that we're going through, with the healing that we've been doing, this karma card in terms of wanting to move on to the next cycle, I think we don't have clarity about what that next cycle is. As you can see that the moon is represented here, and the moon is about unseen things. The moon is hidden, the moon is secrets, the moon is the intuitive feminine principle. And I feel like this thing we want, that is also, it really connects to the Aquarius card, because both of these cards are about hopes, dreams and wishes, right? And this is a major arcana card, so this is more on a broader scale, longer term theme, and this is how its expression in everyday life. In reverse, I feel like we're not very clear, Virgos, about what really this picture looks like for us. We're not clear about what really lights our heart up here, and it's not because we don't know ourselves, but it's because we have come to an end of some kind. We've done the 10 of Wands work and we are being reborn. And so we need this time right now to get clear for ourselves on what this looks and feels like for us. And I know for many of us, it's not going to be what we thought it was. I'll give you an example. Like I said, I've been in education for a really long time. And my plan was set out for me. My career was set out for me. I thought I knew what I was going to do. And now, coming to the end, I'm going to qualify. I'm going to be Dr. NicholeBlack. But I'm really feeling like that. It's not what feeds me, it's not what nourishes me, it's not what excites me, it's not why I get out of bed in the morning anymore. And I'm really having to dig deep around finding what that really looks like for me here and now. And I mean, tarot is definitely a part of that. Healing is a part of that. Service is a part of that. Just really being more in tune with who I am and my energy in this current moment and what this picture is for me. And then lastly, guys, in terms of our advice, we have the Five of Wands, and I feel like there is a lot of conflict, a lot of competition, a lot of action going on around you. Like, things are busy, things are going to be in flux, things are going to be moving quite quickly in September. We've gone through a very slow phase, they're about to really pick up, and you're going to be feeling the pressure to get in the ring. You're going to be feeling like you need to be kind of battling all these different things and answering different energies and answering different people and making quick decisions. But this, for me, I'm really feeling like that's not what you need to be doing. And as best as possible, you need to be stilling down your energy so that you can get clear. I tell you what my real kind of inclination and intuition is that you don't step into the ring of this battle until you know what you're fighting for. Okay, Virgo, and some of you are fighting against yourselves. Some of you are fighting and resisting the energy of the person that you love, or the thing that you love, or the thing that you really want. And that's counterintuitive and it's counterproductive. You need this time to get clear so that when you deal with these obstacles, whatever this looks like for you in September, when you deal with confronting this shit, you know what it is you want and you know what the stakes are, so you're not coming out of this battle till you get what you want out of it. That's what's got to come from us, Virgo. We got to find that fighting energy now. I think, as an earth sign, we can be very contemplative, very slow to move. And I feel like September for us needs to be about cultivating that fire energy. Again, this is the wands, right? But in order to do that, we need to let the water heal the earth. The earth in us needs to be cleared, it needs to be cleansed, it needs to be put in the condition to actually create something. So guys, I hope this reading was helpful to you. I hope that you find that as you come back to it during the month that you draw inspiration and energy from it. Virgos, you guys are sometimes the unsung heroes, but I really believe that love and fulfillment is there for you if you can take the right steps towards it, if you can open yourself up now, if you can resist the impulse to close because you're tired, because you've done the work. Don't do that, guys. Stay open. I'm going to stay open. As I said, if you'd like a personal reading from me, you can go to my website, NicholeBlack.com/tarot readings, or you can email me, LeonaNBlack@gmail.com, and I'm going to put the details in my box. And until I see you next month, so much love, guys. Look after yourselves and happy birthday.